you make it. Our next guest has been named the queen of holiday baking, and she's got a low fuss, time saving approach to making a few fall favorites without sacrificing flavor. Here to whip it real good is senior food editor and columnist for New York Times Cooking. We have Genevieve Ko. Welcome, Genevieve.
Hi, Desiree. Hi, Desiree. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you on. And you write a lot about the joy of baking. Can you share a little bit more about what that actually means?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it's about getting to eat something really delicious at the end. But for me, a lot of it's about the actual act of baking, just the physical motions of it, doing something really concrete, not just typing on a computer all day. There's a lot of joy in that, and so much more joy in being able to give those delicious things to the people you love and sharing them together.
I agree with you, Genevieve. I'm someone I love to meal prep, and there's something about kind of just making your own food that just makes you that much
Yeah.
more appreciative and appreciate all the flavors that go into making it. So I agree with you. And it's fall, and the holidays are around the corner, which is peak baking season. What are some of your
Yes.
favorite things to make this time of year?
Well, this time of year, one of my favorite things to make is, of course, cookies, which I'm doing right now, and apple crisp, certainly for fall, pumpkin breads, anything pumpkin. But also with the holidays coming up, it's pie season, and I really, really love baking pies. And we have so many pie recipes coming up on New York Times Cooking, so it's been really fun to test all those recipes at home.
Oh, I love, and that's one thing I love about fall too. When you said like baking cookies and pies, I think just all
Yeah.
of those scents that come through when you're baking them,
Mhm.
they're delicious.
Yeah.
So, is there a certain seasonal ingredient or flavor or type of baked dish you're especially looking forward to making this fall?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, spices are a big thing. I know you mentioned pumpkin spice earlier before, but any of these warming baking spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, just all those scents are great. But also, all fall, I really love to incorporate nuts into my baking. So here I have a mix of both walnuts and pecans to go into my chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. And of course, all the fall produce that we have, apples and pears, and again, pumpkin, butternut squash, all of these delicious things work into so many great, great desserts.
Yeah, and so I have to ask you, what are you making right now? It looks delicious. I wish I could smell it.
Yeah. So I'm making just a perennial favorite. This isn't just for fall, but these are oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. So you can see
Ooh.
I've got my chocolate and oats and nuts. And here I'm just mixing up butter with brown sugar and regular sugar. I just love the taste of brown sugar all fall too. So these are great any time of year, but in the fall, if you want to give them a little fall kick, you can absolutely add some spices if you want, just to give the house that warming smell too.
Ooh, and some homemade chewy, ooey gooey cookies are always a plus.
Yeah,
And, some people might
always.
think, baking is a major time commitment. What would you recommend for
Right.
someone who doesn't have a lot of time?
I mean, for starters, I'd recommend these cookies because you can actually have your first batch out of the oven from the time you're stirring within 20 minutes or so, and everything is done within 45 minutes. I mean, maybe an hour if you like to sort of take your time while you're baking, but cookies are always a great choice just because they bake so quickly.
Hmm.
If you just want to get something done real fast and you have time to let it sit in the oven, then certainly an apple crisp is definitely the way to go because that just bakes for a long time, but you don't have to do anything while you're waiting. Same thing with cakes. We have some great recipes for pumpkin bread and other cakes at New York Times Cooking. And the batter comes together so fast, and then you just throw it in the oven. We also have a great new recipe for pumpkin muffins with cream cheese studded in the
Oh
muffins.
my gosh.
And again, muffins bake so quickly. And I also have some pumpkin scones on that site, and those also bake really fast. So if you don't have a lot of time, baking can actually go a lot more quickly than you think.
Well, I will definitely make time for anything pumpkin spice. You said pumpkin spice muffins with cream cheese flavor in them. Done deal. Can you tell
Yeah.
us about
Yeah.
any internet food trends that you're a fan of right now?
Yeah, so something I recently did for New York Times Cooking is the instructions for how to make dalgona candy. So that was featured on this show, Squid Game. But
Yes.
also that candy has been around for ages. It's been around for so long in South Korea. It's always out. There are vendors outside of schools or just shops, so kids can have this homemade candy, and it's so delicious. And it was just such a great and fun opportunity to share people this really wonderful South Korean candy. And so it's actually sort of like a honeycomb candy. It's just sugar, water, and a touch of baking soda. and it has this delicious toasty sugar flavor, and it's really fun to make at home.
That's so cool. I am a huge fan of Squid Game. I've made it known. And so when you talk about the honeycomb candy, that was just like a huge moment in the show. But what a great thing to
Yeah,
be able to make it informational as well. It's something that's been
yeah,
cooked for years, and now more people who maybe aren't
yeah.
familiar with it can learn about it. So I think that's awesome. And you mentioned, with time, if you're short on time, is it also something maybe with baking we can have the family join in on for people that have kids? Is it something as simple as cookies that we
Oh,
can all make together?
absolutely, absolutely. It's not just a pleasure and a joy just for yourself to bake alone, though sometimes if you're a mom with lots of kids like I am, maybe that's what you want sometimes is some alone time. But I love baking with my kids, and it's so fun to have them help scoop cookies, or there's some cookie doughs where you roll them, and before you know it, it's going to be the holiday season, and I love having them help cut out shapes and also decorate cookies, and that's always a really fun activity to do all together. And even for something like apple crisp, just having other hands help peel and chop the apples saves you a lot of time, and it actually makes it more delicious when you've all baked it together and then also eat it together.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Genevieve, for coming on the show. I might have to have you mail me some of those pumpkin oatmeal cookies. And for more fall favorite recipes, follow Genevieve on Instagram at Genevieve_Ko.